This is all side Easter eggs on Terminus in Black Ops 6 Zombies, including a few ways to get free gold guns, free wonder weapons like beam smashers and ray guns, free perks, and even a permanent double points. But the first one on our list here is actually a really cool way to scare your friends. So the first thing to do is identify which one of your friends you're going to try and spook, and then bring your chosen victim to the spawn area of the map where you can get into the elevator, and then tell your friend to go into the elevator, and as soon as they buy the elevator, tell them to start jumping up and down. What this is going to do is it's going to trigger an alternate version of the elevator sequence, which is much more gory than the normal elevator experience. Next, we have a free perk for you. If you come down to the biolab, you can find zombies trapped in the jail cells behind the cooling towers along this wall here. If you take out all of those zombies and then you go to the next round, you're going to see that in their place, there are now a bunch of newly spawned vermin. And so once again, we're going to take all of those vermin out, and then we're going to finish the round as normal, go to the next round, and when you look in the jail cells, you'll see a mangler is now trapped in there. And so you're going to rinse and repeat, take that mangler down, and when you do so, as you can see, you'll get yourself a free perk. Next, if you guys remember Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, it was possible in that game to get a friendly hellhound that would revive you and would follow you around and generally help you out while you fought off all the zombies. And while that as a feature isn't returning directly in Black Ops 6, there is something similar in this next Easter egg. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the map and search for several teddy bears and stuffed animals. They can be found in any order, but this is just the one I'm going to show you in my game. So the first one is going to be this unicorn, which is in this locker here, just next to the stamina machine. And when you find it, you just need to hold square on it and it will disappear and a little sound cue will play. The next one is a little monkey, and this can be found just next to the walkway to the sea tower. So stand on the corner of that walkway and you'll see the monkey sitting in the corner, hold square and you'll pick him up. The next one is a little bear and it's in the biolab. So you're going to be looking for one of these medical stations and it'll just be down here. I know this clip's not the clearest thing in the world, but you'll be able to find it just resting on the floor down there. The next one is in the mining tunnels. So this isn't the speed cola side. This is the PhD side, and it's a blue stuffy of an elephant. So just hold square once again. Then we've got a duck, and this one, fittingly, is on the large ship, which we're actually going to be coming back to for another side quest later. But the duck, sadly, is in the dumpster. So hold square to get him out of there. And then when you've done that, that's all the stuffies. So you can now go to the jug room, where the jug perk is, or the second amp generator is, and you'll see all the stuffies sitting on the bunk beds. You've now just got to go and hold square on them, and each of them will drop a piece of equipment, and they'll all start flying into the air. Then, in the middle of the room, they'll combine and turn into a mega stuffy. That is literally its in-game name. It's a stuffy kind of Optimus Prime looking Exodia thing, and it flies around and follows you and helps you in your game. And part of how it helps you is if you go down, it can revive you. So this is a crazy useful companion to have if you're trying to do an especially difficult side quest, for example. Next up, did you know that you can actually go speedboat racing in Terminus? This almost feels like this game's version of Dead Ops Arcade. It's really goofy, but honestly really cool for just a side quest. And the way it works is you need to go over to the eastmost island on the map, so as far east as you can possibly go, and then come to where I am in the gameplay here. Swim down into the water, and on the ocean floor, you'll find a pink speedboat. And if you hold square on it, it will put you into your speedboat race. But if you're in co-op, it will give you an option to choose whether you want to go into the race or if you want to decline. There'll be a vote. And then when it starts, there's a bunch of points that you can grab, and there's even a surprise appearance from Patient 13, the sea monster, as well. Next, this one's nice and quick. You can get a free max ammo if you cook a grenade, like you can see here, and throw it into this little hut. And if you do so correctly, the max ammo will spawn right next to you. And there's another freebie that you can get from going to the biolab and heading into the mystery box location in there. And on the left, you'll see all of these document boxes. Shoot those out of the way, and you'll see behind there's actually a little double points sitting on the desk. And if you shoot it, it will give you double points. There's also a nuke one of these. So if you come to Crab Island and you look into this little zombie spawn location, you can see a metal nuke just sitting on the side. And if you shoot that, you'll get yourself a nuke. Next, you need to put dead wire on one of your guns. So go to the arsenal machine and spend some salvage to do that. And then come and stand roughly where I'm standing here. I just find that this is one of the most convenient places to do this. You basically need to look at this little antenna that you can see in the distance on a radio tower, and you'll see that it's got a little blue light on it as well. Shoot the radio tower and a red light should appear right on top of it. And then you quickly need to swivel and look at another radio tower in the distance and shoot that antenna as well. If you do it successfully, both towers will stay lit up red at the top, but if you do this too slowly, they'll just go back to being unlit and you'll need to try it again. Once you've got them both staying red though, you can then do the next step of the quest, which involves the deck cannon trap. So you first need to hoard up a lot of zombies, because you need lots of zombies for this to work properly, and then bring them out the front of the trap and turn it on. When you do so, you'll see the batteries on the side of the deck cannon actually charge up. They'll go from being minimally charged, like a small purple glow, all the way to being full batteries. And if you get them full like that, the deck cannon will actually target a UFO out of the sky, and it will shoot it down, and you'll see it streaking all the way across the sky, and you can then follow it where it lands and get yourself a whole load of rewards. And you can get a free beam smasher or a free ray gun from this, just like I did in my game here. Next, have you seen these spores on the islands around Terminus? If you have, you might not have realized these are actually a side quest. So to get started, you just need to drive around one of the small islands here and shoot every single spore that you find in one round. Then, once you've shot all of those spores, and it has to be every single one on that little mini island, you can then go to the next round, and if you drive around in a boat, you'll see that more spores have spawned in, but on a different island this time. And so, as you can probably guess, you need to shoot every single spore, and then you need to end the round. This will then happen one more time, so drive around in your boat, find the spores on the new island, and then shoot every single one of them, and then end the round. The final iteration of this sort of fourth time shooting spores, is actually not on an external mini island, but it's on the main island. So you need to come to the Speed Cola area, and throughout those Speed Cola caves, you'll find more spores. And when you shoot every single one of them, you'll be given a free perk reward. Next, we finally have a good reason for why Crab Island is called Crab Island. So as you might expect, you need to come to Crab Island for this side quest and look around for this crab net. Then when you find it, throw a Semtex at it, and if you do this successfully, you'll start being swarmed by crabs, and you'll have to melee them, and a timer will also appear in the middle of your screen. You're basically playing whack-a-mole now. And I don't really know why this is designed this way, because I thought the crabs should be coming to celebrate you getting rid of the crab net or something, but the fact that you start then just meleeing all of them is pretty brutal, but hey, that's the animal kingdom, I guess. And the nice thing about this is that once you're done whacking moles, you get rewarded with a free perk. Next, this is a pretty intense quest, so before we get started, I don't know, put on your seatbelt or something, maybe like the video, something like that. And the first thing that we're going to need for this is Melee Macchiato. So go and buy that in the biolab, and then do a 180 and come through to the Speed Cola tunnel. As you're going up the tunnel, on the right hand side, you'll find this window. And if you look between the rocks, you'll see that there's a map in there with a red X marks the spot on it. Wherever that red cross is, you need to go there. So take a boat out to your target location and swim down into the water, and you should be able to find a watch which you can pick up. You then need to return to that window we were just looking in and melee it with Melee Macchiato. And then inside, you'll have a skeleton who you can talk to by holding square. He'll take the watch from you, and he'll indicate on the map that you need to go to these 3 locations. And I'm pretty sure these are the same every game, so I'm just going to show you where they are now. Before you go, though, you need to get yourself Molotovs or thermite grenades, because that's going to be used for this step. So first, we're going to go to the shipwreck, and on the deck of the shipwreck, we're going to throw one of our Molotovs at the base of the mast. You can see there's some bones just resting against there as well. So we're going to incinerate the base of the mast with the Molotov, and that's going to spawn in an HVT, which we then have to take down. And it's pretty chunky, so bring some firepower. When you kill it, it's going to drop a coin, and you need to pick that up, and it's going to be one of 3 cursed coins that we need. Next, head to Castle Rock Island, and you need to run around the island until you find this little lantern. And once again, just in front of that lantern, you'll see a couple of bones poking out of the sand. You need to throw your Molotov down at them, and this will cause another HVT to spawn in, which you need to kill and grab the coin from. Then we're going to head to Temple Island, and we're going to be looking for some bones once more. These bones are a little easier to spot, thankfully. They're just on a kind of tarpaulin looking thing on these stairs. Molotov them, take your HVT down, and grab your third coin. You then need to head back to the pirate skeleton from the Speed Cola cave, and if you interact with him, he'll take the coins from you, and he'll say, if you want to continue with this quest, there's one more thing you could do. And alongside that little riddle, he also gives you some gold weapons, which is extremely generous of him, seeing as we haven't even finished his side quest yet, but thanks, Skelly. And so the next thing that we can do here is wait 3 rounds and then go to Crab Island. On Crab Island, you're going to be looking for this chest, and the island itself is going to be slightly different this round compared to the other previous rounds because it's going to be sort of stormy above, and that's why it relates to the captain's riddle. And so while it's storming on that round, look for that chest, hold square, open it, and inside you'll find a talisman. Now, if you equip this talisman, it changes your game completely, because now you're going to lose points if you get hit by zombies, but every kill that you get is going to have a permanent double points applied. And the cool thing about this is that this is kind of an Easter egg in an Easter egg here, but you can actually get a Dark Ops challenge completed for earning 20,000 points in one go without taking a hit while you're holding this talisman. Next, here's a way you can get the wonder weapon on the map, the Beam Smasher, for free. The first thing to do is activate the power around the map with the 3 purple amp generators. This is very self-explanatory. It's just activating Pack-a-Punch, but if you need an in-depth guide on it, I have one on my channel linked below. Then come down to below where Quick Revive is here and activate this little laptop. You're going to need to do this with 2 other laptops as well. There's one just below where Stamina Up is, so just go ahead and activate that now. And the third can be found just by the docks area on a little outcrop here. Hold square, you'll activate that. When Pack-a-Punch is done, you then need to come over to one of these arsenal machines and use it to purchase dead wire using salvage. You need to put that on one of your weapons. Next, you need to come to the Pack-a-Punch incline lift and activate it. You're going to want it to travel from below up to the top level of the map, and as it does so, you're going to be able to see a window just here. On the right hand side, there is an electric box that you need to shoot with your dead wire weapon, and when you do so, it will start sparking. You'll then be able to shoot several other electrical boxes, which I'm going to show you the locations for now, and each time the spark will move and travel to the next box. The next one is just here, as you can see. The final electrical box is just on the side of the wall here, and that will open up this room. Once you enter the laboratory, kill this little trapped zombie that's just here lying down on the floor, and then pick up the fob, as you can see I'm doing here. You'll get a quote when you do so, and it will be the leftmost item in your quest items when you bring up your scoreboard. Then leave and go to the sea tower. In the sea tower, you'll find a briefcase on a table, hold square on it, and it will pop open. You'll be able to grab a little multiphasic injector, then bring the multiphasic injector back to the laboratory, and you'll be able to place it into this machine. Next, we're going to run up to Peck, and we're actually going to spend 5,000 points for him to just give us the answer to this puzzle. So pay your points, and then on the left side of the screen, you'll see there are 3 numbers that you need to remember and bring back to the lab. Enter the numbers into these dials here, and once you submit them, the machine is going to say it is targeting, and you simply need to go to the next round, and then the targeting will be complete. The screen will show you a location that you need to travel to, and it will be one of the islands on the map, and then head over to that island. When you get there, you should see a blue ball just hanging out waiting for you. Place the multiphasic injector down on it, and then you need to just survive while a whole load of zombies spawn in. While they're spawning, you'll see one zombie that's glowing blue, the same color as the orb, and you need to try and kill that zombie over the multiphasic injector. If you fail, it's okay. You can just run over to the essence blob thing that it will drop, and you can pick it up and bring it to the glowing ball yourself. But if you kill the zombie near enough to it, it will just automatically activate, so that's the easiest thing to do. Once you've killed one of the glowing zombies over the glowing ball, you'll then have another zombie spawn in with the glow once again, and you just need to do the same thing a couple of times, and once it's done, the glow will move, but the multiphasic injector will remain. So you need to pick up multiphasic injector and take it to the next island that the ball has moved to. You then just repeat this a couple times. So go to the next island, it'll be green ball now, place the multiphasic injector, kill a green glowing zombie over the green ball, do that a couple times, and then the ball will move, and for your third island, rinse and repeat, and once you've killed the last glowing zombie over the glowing ball, you'll then be able to pick up a infused multiphasic injector, which will be red in your quest items when you pull up your scoreboard. Then simply run back to the laboratory and hold square on this machine in order to craft yourself a free Beam Smasher. So now you have a free Beam Smasher, and you've also become an honorary member of the cult of the multiphasic injector. Next, come down to underneath the sea tower and look around in the water for fish that are swimming around down there. When you see the fish, either throw a grenade or shoot an explosive thing like the Sally here, and the fish will die, and you'll then be able to pick it up by holding square. Next, come to the mess hall, and you'll see some eggplants on the table here. Now, there's a debate raging in the community right now about whether or not these eggplants are part of the recipe that we're about to cook up. Some people say they are, some people say they aren't, but it doesn't hurt to grab an eggplant to be safe. There's another item in the mess hall that you can grab. It's on this little shelf here, and I think it's a bottle of oil. And then in the opposite corner of the mess hall, there is a third item, which is a little red tin nestled between these two boxes. Then we're going to head towards Quick Revive, and you need to look for this little purple plant that you can find in the foliage outside. I guess it's like a little purple fruit. And then if you head towards the jug room in the upstairs area, if you go past the snooker table, you should find a bowl of salt on top of the fridge that you can pick up. And then you need to return to the mess hall. Now you have all your ingredients, hold square on this frying pan, and boom, your fish and all the other ingredients will get tossed in that pan, and they'll start frying up, and it will then go all fiery, and it will need to cook for a little bit. So you're gonna need to go to the next round, and then go back to the frying pan, hold square on it, and you'll eat your fish. And you'll actually get an achievement for this in the corner of your screen as well. Now, with those covered, there's obviously also the main quest Easter egg on Terminus, which is linked on the screen on the left right now, and I really recommend giving it a go because the boss fight in it is incredible. And on the right-hand side of the screen, I've got even more little quests and secrets in the map that you might find interesting. So click through to one of those videos and I'll see you there.